Hi guys, it's Leah. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my favourite video to film every single month. For my TBR jar, we'll be picking what I read in July. I love filming these videos every single month. They are genuinely my favourite videos to film. I get so excited at the idea of a new TBR, especially going into the summer. Whilst I love reading every single genre and that carries on throughout the entirety of the year, in summer I definitely lean more towards literary fiction, classics. I don't know why, I just become so obsessed with all of those genres again. And with that, there are a lot of books that I know I want to get to in July. I have a lot of fun plans in July. I'm also moving at the end of June, so by the time that you see this, I actually would have moved already, which is crazy. July is a very busy month, but in a very exciting way, and I want some brilliant books to companion that. So let's just get started. Let's shake her up as always. Let's pick the prompts. I think like normal, let's maybe do 7. I feel like that's a good middle ground for a bunch of different reads. For the first prompt, let's maybe do one right at the bottom. Let's go for this one here. This one feels like a big one. I will show you guys first, like always. Hopefully that is the right way round. It is author with the same name as somebody I know. Oh my god, okay. I'm kind of scared that we're not gonna have one. I'm not going to lie, because based off of all of these, nothing's coming to my head. Oh, actually, I do know somebody called Eve, so we could do Eve Babbitt. And we do also have Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I do know somebody called Hannah. Out of that and Eve Babbitt, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't read the first book in this series. I think it's Icebreaker. I have heard you can go into it not having read the first book. I don't really have any interest in reading the first book, but I don't quite know how I feel about that. And I've been wanting to read an Eve Babbitt for years. I don't know why, but her books always scream summer to me, and I know that I want this summer to be the first time that I ever read something from her. Sex and Rage is the only book I have on my TBR by her, so due to that, it will be the first one that I read. I don't know if this is a good place to start. I really don't know a lot about Eve Babbitt, other than I know she was a lot of people's muse in Los Angeles in 1970, and also that there is a lot of comparisons, and there was a friendship between Joan Didion and her, and there was a lot of drama, and I love Joan Didion so much. So kind of crazy actually. We're just gonna go for Sex and Rage because I've been wanting to read, like I said, an Eve Babbitt for so long. That actually makes me so excited. Here is the first book that I will be reading in July. On to the second prompt. Let's go. Okay, one fell out. We'll go for the one that fell out. As always, I love doing that. Let's put it up to fate. Sometimes it works in my favour, sometimes, very often, it doesn't. Here is the prompt. It is a book on the cover. A book on the cover of a book. We've never picked that prompt before. I don't even know if I own a book with that, but let's have a look. How do we not have a single book that has a book on the cover? Okay, that is crazy. We're gonna have to repick, which is so sad. I really can't even actually think of a single book cover that has a book on it. Repicking prompt 2 then, let's go for this one here. Here is the second repicked prompt, and it is complete a series. Okay, I think there's literally only one book that's in a series on my cart. That is The Blood Traitor by Lynette Noni. I have slowly but surely been getting through this entire trilogy so far this year, and it's okay. Like, I'm having fun with it, but it's not the best series I've ever read. I don't really think, unfortunately, it's going to stand as a series that is fairly memorable to me. I don't really know, but I do want to finish it because, like I said, I'm on the last book, and this is quite literally, I think, the only book that is in a series currently on my cart, which is crazy. So we're just going to have to go for The Blood Traitor. I am very excited to finish it, see how it ends. I will be quite happy and satisfied once I have ticked off and finished the trilogy, so I'm not really mad at this. The second book that I'm going to be reading is The Blood Traitor. On to the third prompt. Let's go for another one right at the bottom. Let's go for this one here. Here is the prompt, and it is start a new series. We've just established that there isn't a single other book on here that is part of a series, so I don't want to repick. Can I pick something from my Kindle TBR? Do you know what? I am going to actually treat myself and just take it from my Kindle TBR because, like I said, we've established that there isn't a single book on my cart right now, and honestly, if I'm being completely transparent, I have already packed up a lot of book series that I had on my physical TBR for the move, so I'm just going to pick one from my Kindle TBR, and I don't even need to grab my Kindle because I think I know what I'm going to pick. I'm finally going to do it, and I'm finally going to break the intimidation that I've had for it. I think I'm going to start the Chestnut Spring series. Oh my god, I'm quite nervous. I have been absolutely loving the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver this year, and I've had so many people recommend the Chestnut Spring series to me for upwards to a year, but I don't know why I'm intimidated. I've never read a cowboy romance or anything like that, but I love the way that she writes small town romances. I love the way that she writes romances in general, and off the back end of that, I feel like I'm gonna fall in love with the series, and I feel like I want to binge read them this summer. So I'm finally going to start the Chestnut Spring series. I believe the first book is Flawless. I could be wrong, but I think it's Flawless. So yeah, adding that onto my July TBR. Onto the fourth prompt then. Let's go for Do we risk fate again? Like always, here is the prompt. Hopefully that is the right way round. It is cover matching my outfit. This is actually the newest piece of clothing that I've bought. It is like a gingham dress and I really love it, but it is like a browny, maroony. It's more kind of brown than burgundy. That doesn't really look like it's going to help me much. Actually, They Never Learn might match. Wait, Absolutely not, never mind. I feel like the darkest books that I've got on my TBR currently are the classics, and guys, why does it actually kind of match? I've been wanting to read Proust for a really long time. I have Remembrance of Things Past, volume 1, but babe, look at the size of it. Respectfully, look at the size of it. I really do want to read this, and I definitely want to make my start on it in the summer. I'm kind of accepting that this is a book that is going to take me months to read. I'm in no rush to kind of fly through it. I just kind of want to finally make the start on it. However, now that we're here, it terrifies me, just in case. Oh, actually, the Enchanted April, I feel like also kind of goes slightly. Another classic that I would love to read this summer. We also have Ghost Wall by Sarah Moss, which I feel like also kind of matches, but I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like the Proust matches the best out of all of these. None of these really match, to be honest, but I feel like as much as it pains me and terrifies me to say it, maybe I'll finally start this. You know what, instead of constantly putting it off, I think especially because I have accepted this is going to take me a long time to read, I don't want to rush through it. It might take me upwards to a year, 2 years, I don't mind. Just need to start it, and I feel like I want to start getting better at just starting books and not really having the pressure of flying through them or reading them quickly, especially when it comes to big classics. As much as it completely terrifies me, I hope that you guys want to follow along with this journey, because I'm no doubt going to be talking about it for a long time. Let's start Remembrance of Things Past, volume 1 by Proust. Oh my god, the way that we literally have Proust and then we have Elsie Silver on the same TBR, that kind of shows you the variety of how much I love to read. For the 5th prompt, let's go for this one. Okay, wait. There's 2. We'll go for that one. Here is the 5th prompt, and it is random color generator. That is fun. I love picking from a random color generator. I feel like it's just, again, it's kind of up to fate. Okay, I just picked the first one that came up on Google. There are a lot of colors on here, so if we spin it, I'm not gonna have a look. You guys can see first. Is it done? Pink? Oh my god, I was instantly gonna say that I was gonna pick Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, because babe, it's a new Ashley Poston. I've been so excited about this for a really long time. I actually really don't know what this one is about at all, but it is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. But simultaneously, we also have Evenings and Weekends by Oisin McKenna. I actually feel like that pink is more accurate. I don't know which one to go with. I know that this one is very likely going to become my July book club pick. It is winning the poll currently, so I will not be surprised if this ends up winning. However, I also really want to read Sounds Like Love. These are the 2 books that I really want to read in July, so I don't know which one to pick. Okay, I think because obviously I'm going to be reading Evenings and Weekends, if it wins my book club poll anyway, I'm going to pick Sounds Like Love. And this one feels more pink because this one is also slightly orange. Not me literally trying to explain and find excuses. I'm just going to go for Sounds Like Love. Like I said, one of my most anticipated reads of the year, but I know nothing about it. I'm very excited to go into it. Her books are always just the best summer reads. The 5th book that I'll be adding to my July TBR is Sounds Like Love. 2 more prompts left. The 6th prompt, let's go for... Another one fell out. Do we go for Fate again? Because Fate was not very nice to us last time. Let's just go for it. Here is the prompt. Again, hopefully that is the right way up. And it is Blurbed by one of my favourite authors. I actually had this prompt last year. Last year? Damn, last month. Okay, Blurbed by one of my favourite authors. Okay, where's Evenings and Weekends? Where did I put Evenings and Weekends? Who has blurbed it? Coco Melors blurbed it as gorgeous. She obviously wrote Cleopatra and Blue Sisters. I loved both of them so much. But we could definitely pick it for that. I would also really love to get to The Pisces by Melissa Broder in July. Okay, Dolly Alderton blurbed it, but I wouldn't really say that she is a favourite author, so I don't feel like we could do that. I feel like that would be cheating. Instead of just looking for a really long time, I think I'm just going to go for Evenings and Weekends by Oisin McKenna, solely because, one, like I said, it's very likely going to become my book club pick for July, but simultaneously it is the perfect book to read, and it also is set in June, so I would like to read it as early as I can in July. I'm just very excited. I've heard it's the best summer read because it's also set in London, and I am always in London. I've heard the representation of what it's like to be in London in the summer especially is really accurate. I'm just very intrigued by it, and I'm gonna just pick this for the 6th prompt. I actually cannot wait. I'm so excited to get to this. On to the 7th and final and last prompt. Let's do another one right at the bottom, like in the corner. Let's go for this one here. Here is the prompt. It is all letters of my name in the title. I swear we get this every single month. I said last month that I feel like this is really doable, and it often feels like a free pick because I only obviously have 3 letters in my name. However, last month, babe, there was only like 1 option. So okay, so we could do The Apple in the Dark by Clarice Lispector, another book that I would love to read in July, but especially this summer. I kind of want to get back on track with reading Clarice in chronological order. This is the next one that I need to read, and obviously it does have an L, E, Yeah, why did I question myself for a minute? It does have an L, an E and an A in the title, and in the same breath so does the Enchanted April, which obviously I would also really like to read. We could do the Doll's Alphabet. We could do The Wall by Marlon Hoscheffer, which is another one I'm very excited about. And I think for the most part those are our options, so I feel like we kind of are going for a classic vibe here, which I'm actually not that mad at. Oh, okay, I just did exactly what I did last month. Last month when I picked this prompt, there was a hardback that was glaringly obvious to have Elie in the title, and I think it was one that I actually kind of wanted to read, and I've just done the exact same here with They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. It literally has my name already spelled out for me, babe, and I'm not gonna lie, forget the classic vibes, I've got enough classic with Proust. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. I'm just gonna go for They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. I've been very excited to read this for years. This is a TBR veteran at this point. I know they're actually, I think, republishing it in paperback, especially after The Favourites and that success. I know that this is very different to The Favourites. I know in this we are following a teacher at university who essentially, I think, kills boys who wrong women, and I love a murderous woman in a book, and I especially love supporting their wrongs as much as their rights. This is just one that I've had on my radar for, or not even on my radar, on my TBR for upwards to probably 2-3 years, and with the fact that it is republishing and I feel like a lot of people are going to get to it, I think it actually republishes in July. I just want to read it finally. The last book that we are adding onto my July TBR is They Never Learn. I also feel like this adds great range to the genre. So with that, here are the 6 books plus Flawless by Elsie Silver. It's actually a very pink month, which we kind of love. These are all of the books that I will be reading in July, picked for me by my TBR jar. As always, if you have read any of these, please let me know what you thought about them, whether you like them or you dislike them. I am very excited about many of these. I'm very intimidated about one in particular, but I feel like it's going to be a great reading month alongside just very other exciting things happening in July. Definitely also feel free to let me know what is a book that you really want to read in July, or if you're watching to the very end of the video and you don't know what to comment any pink emoji. As always, if you did enjoy this video and you are not yet subscribed, it would mean the absolute world to have you here. And yeah guys, thank you so much for being here and for spending some time with me today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very, very soon with another video.